Should I share a little secret with you guys? How to make money in poker? Why not? Let's share a little secret. All right. And we are live, guys. Welcome to the stream, the first official one. The other ones were unofficial as we were experiencing some technical difficulties. So I guess the official launch of the stream was delayed for a week. In the meanwhile, we did a couple of small streams just to fix a couple of bugs. And actually, I started a little bit early because I wanted to share something with you guys before we would dive in. Because as you can see, this is not a Pokerstars table, but a hand that I've played, and I kind of wanted to give you guys a little insight in what I do before actually I start play a session. In general, I think how you prepare for your session or how you go into your session is going to be it's going to have a big effect of how you're going to perform during your session. So I think having a certain pre-session routine is very important. And I will show you guys something that I usually do. In general, I will set certain intentions and focus points. And intention is sort of a way you want to show up to the tables, you could say. My intention, for example, I usually have is love for tough spots and tough opponents. In general, when I play against tough opponents, I want to react by being enthusiastic, because basically if you play against tough opponents, they will play in tough spots, and the default response can be like headaches and like, ugh. And I actually prefer to have a response that is more appreciative, I guess, for the opportunity. So not seeing it less as an opportunity, less as a threat, but more as an opportunity, as in like, okay, this is very cool. You're putting me in a very tough situation. Thank you for trying to raise my standards, okay? Because if I'm not being put in tough spots, I will not grow as a poker player. So this is kind of a change in association. In general, intentions of the way I would like to show up to a table. And without further ado, I was already at the tables. Let's put on some music. That's a nice song. And we will start playing some poker hands. We're going to start up with a 3-bet straight from the bet. In the meanwhile, we have started to get some viewers and some chats. Let me see what this guy's planning. Because very good board for me. What's the correct sizing? I think a good board to size big on. Don't think he has almost any threes after I 3-bet this big blind versus button, so it's quite a dry board. And I think jacks would be like the nut hand, I think, to bet big. But 10s is fine as well. Hi, should I take poker serious as a micro rec even though I have a good normally job? Yes, you should try to take poker as serious as possible. Usually people tend to wait before they're at a certain level, and then they think like, oh no, but if I'm at that level, I will start taking it more seriously. No, that's not true. Whenever you're at that level, you would just do what you were used to doing. There's this quote that says, how you do something is how you do everything. So you always have to question yourself, how do I want to show up? Not only at the poker tables, but you have to be consistent like that in other situations. Okay, so for example, what I said, interested, curious, playful. That's how I want to show up in other kind of scenarios. One thing, this quote is always top of mind when I'm in the gym and I don't know, I did 9 reps, for example, and my goal was to do 12. But then that voice in your head is like, you know, 9 is not that bad. But if you skip on those, it's not necessarily that you would skip on that 1 rep. It's like, you know, that 1 rep. But if you start to get in that mindset of, it's only 1 rep, you will start to apply this, but it's only in any part of your life. So remember, guys, how you do one thing is how you do everything. So yes, I would just try to take it as serious as possible. Make a little note here. Suited hand 4-way, and this guy, as you can just see by the note, it's quite spazzy, and now he donks out. Don't know him. This is a tough spot. This is a very tough spot because I'm gonna have to call, but if he goes over the top, now it's an easy spot. Now it's an easy spot. Now it's an easy spot. I think I should just jam because basically if he had a, because if I bet anything, if I bet anything smaller he can call, then he can just overcall. Just hope he doesn't have a set. Oh yeah, the better hand. That was terrible. Terribly unlucky, I mean. Not necessarily terrible. And he's slow playing king, queen there, but he's also slow playing aces because for him it's probably the same hand. And basically if I would have bet any smaller sizing, if I would have bet any smaller sizing, it would have just invited two ranges to continue. Basically, if both ranges were willing to put 15 big blinds in the pot, if I bet small, they're most likely to pew, and the board still is going to change quite a lot. And yes, this guy, we're going to flop a set. Man, I have to say, whenever I started streaming, I'm going to take a look afterwards towards my flop set percentage because it's been out of the roof. Really insane, and the guy bets 120% pot. Twitch, good run. Twitch, good run. Yes, I heard about this, never experienced it, but this is very nice. He checks, I check as well, and then he just rips it in with queen 10 suited. So he's thinking hard. You think he's slow rolling me? That would be funny. No, he's trying to seem like he has a decision. He checks, like I said, I'm gonna check. He has queen 10 suited, like I said earlier. Now I'm just gonna check behind and let him bluff the river. If he checks again, he probably has nothing actually. He has nothing. I did actually see him spaz earlier. He spazzed earlier versus a very small bet. So I think I'll go for that again. I think if he has queens or jacks or something, he might still actually raise versus this bet. Which he didn't, that's very unfortunate. Normally I would just go in there, but we played a hand before the Twitch stream started where he basically gave me a stack. When I bet it very small, he started to bluff, I think a middle pair or something. Second table, I have ace jack. He min raised from early. Could 3-bet or could call. In this case, there's not really a reason for me to make a decision. So in this case, I, as they say, rolled low. So that's kind of how I try to mix things up there. Because like EVs, first I check if there's a tendency or, you know, if there's something here at the tables that makes me think one player is clearly better than the other. If not, then I will just randomize it. I think versus this turn barrel, we should still continue with ace jack. I like his turn bet. I think he puts quite a lot of my lower pairs in a difficult spot, which is a very big part of my range. And those hands are like, let's say I have fives without a heart. This is a hand that's very hard to continue. Now he goes for the overbet on the river with quite a poor bluff catcher. Let's say we had eights with a heart, for example. I would definitely continue on the turn with. Same with probably fives with a heart. Those would now be good calling hands. Ace jack is obviously terrible due to its blockers. She asks what's the highest that I've played. 100, 200, but not a lot of hands. I would say 5100 at a high frequency. I get check raised here. Ugh. This is quite a fucked up spot. I don't think he's bluffing all that often. I think I'm actually gonna make a nitty fold here. Don't really see this being a bluff all that often. Should I share a little secret with you guys? How to make money in poker? Why not? Let's share a little secret. Don't play Lineless Love. Why do people keep playing that guy? Seriously. Tip of the day, if you ask me. So for any of the guys listening, tip of the day. Don't play versus line of love. This one. This one was the hand we played against Taklafak earlier. It's a funky hand, guys. Funky hand. Don't try this at home. So, I overcalled with deuces, flop a set, you know, because we're twitching, and when you're twitching, you flop sets more often. This was actually 2 recreational players. I decided to play it slow, let Taklafak do something. And then actually the turn was an ace, and I bet out because it's the funky thing to do. And remember what the intention was. I have to play playful, creative. That's kind of my thing. So he raised as sort of, you know, I had kind of a feeling that this would happen. So I called. And river is a 4. And now you would say, okay, you're going to check call him. No, but I decided to lead again. And then Mr. Taklafak turned in the stack. And actually, I'll let you guys guess the hand. Okay? Oh, someone has the right at work AS. Bing, bing, bing. But let's go back to this hand. This hand's way more fun. A set means big bet. That rhymes. So that's what we're going for. River quite interesting. Let me see if I bet small. Is he ever raising? It's kind of the question. Are we actually still betting a jack? No, probably not. Are we betting ace jack? I think we're betting ace jack. No, I'm just gonna rip it. I was thinking of blocking. I think there's definitely some hands in my range that want to block. Mainly king jack, for example, is a great hand to start blocking. Here we flop a very good hand versus a very good player. Mr. Big Blind Bets, BBB. Remember actually when I was playing high stakes, he kind of came up and started crushing everyone like 15 BB 100 or something. And again, guys, do you want a tip? A secret tip to make money in poker? If someone wins 40 BB 100 and is crushing everyone, you shouldn't be playing against this guy. So he was definitely one of the guys who I wasn't playing against. In the meanwhile, we got a call. He was thinking quite long about it with pocket aces. And Big Blind Bets is over betting us. And we have a very pure continue here with ace king. Parboard river, that seems quite good. However, versus Mr. BBB, I don't think he is going to give up on this river quite often. Even though it's a river that people do, I think, give up on some of the time. It is a card that definitely also improves my range. No reason to bet ace king though. He actually gave up. He choked him. Mr. BBB, he choked him. He choked him. What did he choke with? He had a bad bluff. Wow. That is a choke. That is a choke right there, guys. You can see. As you can see, we're playing against humans. Obviously a very good player. And I think, in my opinion, he should always be bluffing this hand. So it's a pure choke. It's kind of a dilemma, right? You're blocking ace king, but at the same time, you're also blocking aces. You're blocking ace 5 suited. You're blocking 5 6 suited. You're blocking 6 7 suited. So yes, I think definitely a bluff. Meanwhile, we have ace 3. I will get back to the chat soon. Should I check call or should I check raise? I'm gonna check call this hand. And we're flushing. He checks. Which I think he's gonna do quite a lot. Oh, I wanted to check raise the river. Maybe should have went for the block bet instead, but I don't think he's raising that thin here on the river. Yeah, this was kind of the problem. But even if I would have bet very big, it's very hard for me to be bluffing because basically a lot of hands, where is it? A lot of hands that he's gonna have are hands like this. I think in hindsight, blocking better than checking. I don't think we should be betting big. I mean, if I block, he's always calling. I check, he's not always betting. Apparently, he snapped behind, which makes a lot of sense. Yeah, maybe block betting would have been better. I don't know. Meanwhile, we're opening 7-8 suited. We're gonna call 3-bet. We also have aces on the other table. No longer. Okay. And we flop. Actually, it looks prettier than it is in hindsight, but you know, see all these things going on. That's half pots. And I'm gonna proceed by calling. But it's a hand that we should not get too enthusiastic about just yet. He checks. Yeah, this is a very good turn for us. Let me see. I think this is a fine hand to bet. Yes. And now we have to check. I think a board pair is very bad. Wow! We could have been in so much trouble. He had a flush and a straight. Actually, I think he should probably bet his hand on the turn. Yeah, true. It's good. Rob M says, you know. Basically, if you're a Twitcher, any mistake you make, he says, listen, I'm fucking multitasking. What do you want me to do? That's good, man. Any mistake I make, I just blame it on Twitch. No, guys. Actually, wait. This is the. Let me also try to educate you guys in the correct way. If you make a mistake, own your mistake, please. Basically, I think the world is way easier to you if you just go around with the philosophy of everything is my fault and everything happens for a reason. So if I walk down the street and someone punches me in the face, I'm gonna be like, okay, don't know how yet, but this is somehow probably my own fault. And this probably happens for a reason. A bigger reason that I currently don't understand. Quite universal shit going on right now. But yeah, basically just the world becomes way kinder if you just own all your mistakes and be like the opposite of a victim. Hey, do you do coaching? I coach a bunch of students. Yes. Currently no new applications available though. But if you are interested in learning more about our philosophy and the way we approach poker, exclamation point mechanics of poker is our program, which is going to be released. Actually, now I can finally say it in the correct way. The Mechanics of Poker is our program, which will be released in the Poker Ambition Club, which will be available to join early next year. So if you're interested in learning why I do all the shit that I do, then yeah, you can learn it there, basically. In the meanwhile, here we're 3-betting ace king. Interesting flop. Checking. It's back. And now we can start applying some pressure. Decent river, as it's more likely that I am actually bluffing a 7 than that he is calling with a 7. And it makes it less likely as a set. So. But he is not believing. And hero called me. With the 8-9, which... Does that make sense? Yeah. It's whatever. Like blockers kind of go two ways here. Let's say he has King Jack. He's blocking some value, but he's also blocking bluffs. So I don't think your hand really matters much here. If you're gonna beat, just estimate if you think it's likely that I'm bluffing a lot. If so, then by all means call. If no, then by all means fold. But he clearly thought I was. Mr. Sabino asks, how bad is the King of Spades? Well, I would prefer not to have the King of Spades, but... yeah, how bad is it? How bad is it? I actually took a look. It's only, I think it was only King 8 of Spades that I'm now blocking, a hand that would call turn fold river. I'm not necessarily that concerned. Someone asked about the... it's bad to have the King of Spades. Let me actually check. Because I didn't think so. Yeah, we're basically thinking queen suited. Queen of Spades, he could definitely bet the flop. I think that's more likely. The offsuit version could definitely check. But I think with the backdoor flush draw, I think it's fine to bet. Like I said, I'm only blocking like King 8 of Spades. So I think it's fine. I think it's a board that I'm going to do quite a lot of checking on with hands like King, Queen, Ace, Queen. Aces. Jacks, Queens. So yeah, I like my play there. And actually, I think that is about it, guys, for today. If you guys have any suggestions, please do let us know. And that's about it, guys. Thank you very much for tuning in to the stream. I hope you enjoyed and I hope you learned something along the way. And see you on Monday.